Ham saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. What's he doing, bragging about it?
All right, Genesis 9, this has to do with Ham. And the question is, he's bragging about what he's done, and he is. Genesis 9, verse 20. Genesis 9, verse 20. Sir? Yeah, it seemed like he would be, but the Bible says in getting apostasy, were they ashamed when they committed iniquity? No, they could not blush. And one of the ways, things really bad is when a person is not merely not ashamed of sin, but they brag about or boast about their sin. Genesis chapter 9, verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. Now the face of it looks like he just saw him without any clothes on, and then told his two brethren without. But there's more to it than that. Because it goes on and it says, and Shem and Japheth took their garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness from their father, and their faces were backward. They saw not their father's nakedness. And of course that's just seeing. But then it says, Noah woke from his wine, knew what his younger son had done to him. And we knew what he'd done to him, he cursed his seed. 25, cursed be Canaan. So his seed was cursed because something he'd done. Now come to Leviticus chapter 18 and see what this thing means about seeing somebody's nakedness. Leviticus 18, verse 6. 18:6. None of you shall uncover to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. 7. The nakedness by a father, the nakedness by a mother shalt not uncover. 8. The nakedness. 10. The nakedness. 11. The nakedness. 12. The nakedness. 13. The nakedness. 14. The nakedness. The nakedness. 17. Thou shalt uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Neither shalt thou take her son, the daughter, or her daughter's daughter to uncover their nakedness, for they are near kin to woman, is wickedness. The uncovering in the passage is talking about sex relationship. Verse 19, thou shalt approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is apart for uncleanness. Moreover, thou shalt lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife. So what happens here is old Ham here is committing a sin. He's committing sodomy with his father, and he's bragging about it. If you go back to Genesis chapter 10, you'll find that when Ham's posterity comes on down, his posterity settles in Sodom. Genesis chapter 10, verse 19 in the Hamites. The border of the Canaanites was from Zidon, as thou goest to Gerar to Gaza, as thou goest to Sodom and Gomorrah. So the sin is named after Ham's sin on the fleece blotter. Until recently it was called sodomy. I don't know what they call it now. They probably call it a lifestyle now. And the idea about these things is what he's doing is bragging about what he's done. And he is bragging. Come to Philippians and look at Philippians chapter 3, verse 18. About people glorying in their shame. Philippians 3:18. Philippians 3:18, for many walk, to whom I have told you often, now tell you even weeping, that their enemy is the cross of Christ, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, whose glory is in their shame. So minor things. They brag about shameful things. And that's where it'll get in the last days. They'll brag about it. They do on Frisco to have parades out there. There are 200,000 freaks in Frisco. 200,000 sex perverts. Wouldn't be safe to raise a child anywhere within 10 miles uptown. I got friends who've been going out there, and they told me that when you drive through the town, the thing that'll shake you up is the queers have learned to dress respectable and cut their hair and look like males when they're not. They said the most startling thing you ever saw to have a policeman pull you over to give you a ticket. See him big and strong, husky looking, with a crew haircut, and open and come up the window and say, "May I see your driver's license?" Wow, man. And what they do out there is they brag about it. We have queers in Pensacola have signs out and demonstrate that I'm gay and proud of it. That's what Ham did. He bragged about his sin. All right, something else. We had a name for him in the Army. I couldn't repeat it. Talk about Phil Donahue facing the issues, and talking about the issues broadly and boldly and openly. No, never. Yeah.
Nothing like a Bible to clear up a college education.